Hey everybody, so my name is LaPretty and I'm a Dominican Voodoo spiritualist. So today I am going to be talking about Papa Francisco and Mama Francisca. So I'm sure that some of you or a lot of you have seen these two people either sitting on someone's altar, sitting in someone's store, or you've probably even seen the life-size images of these people outside of people's homes and houses. So Papa Francisco and Mama Francisca are pretty much spirits that are a part of the Congo spirits that would usually be seen in the religion known as espiritismo. Now, espiritismo is Spanish for spiritism, and espiritismo is mainly practiced in Latin America. There are three well known types of espiritismo known. You have the Venezuelan version that's known. I don't know the name of that version in Spanish. Then you have the most popular one, Mesa Blanca, which is the Puerto Rican version of Espiritismo. Then you also have the Espiritismo Cruzado, which is the Cuban um, form of Espiritismo. But whether it's Cuban, Puerto Rican, or Venezuelan, you will see Papa Francisco and Mama Francisca. So the story goes is that Mama Francisca and Papa Francisco are slave spirits. To those of you who don't know, Latin America did have slaves that came from Africa, just like the United States. So during the slave trade, they came over across the Atlantic to the New World, which is now present day North, Central, and South America, and they brought over their different African traditions and African religions. Now, the Congo spirits are mainly served and worshiped and honored because they are seen as the strongest spirits, as the wisest spirits, but also the most potent and the most powerful spirits. The thing about the Congo spirits is that the Congo spirits are also a part of the Nago Nation, which is known as the Ogu, or they are part of the warrior like spirits in a lot of different African traditional religions. So, the reason why a lot of people honor and venerate the Congo spirits is because they are the strongest, they are the most potent, and they are the most powerful. Now, when it comes to Papa Francisco and Mama Francisca, people do serve them based off of their honorary gifts, which would be protection, which would be blockbuster, road opener, love, money, ancestor veneration, and so on and so forth. A lot of times people will honor their ancestors with Papa Francisco and Mama Francisca, especially if you are of African descent or African American descent or Afro Latino descent. You will usually see these on someone's altar, or you will usually use these as your ancestral spirits because whether you're Latin or African American, we all grew up with black elders. We all grew up with some form of black leadership or authority of the in the home that was of older age, that was wise, that was well known in the community, well loved, well respected, and sought after for the power and knowledge and the different abilities that they had. So if you don't know who your elders were or who your ancestors are, you can use Papa Francisco and Mama Francisca as examples or as substitutes for these unknown ancestors that you have. Some people, depending on their tradition, or some people, depending on their religion, they may have respective days or they may have respective times of the week or times of the season to serve Mama Francisca or Papa Francisco. But you could pretty much serve my Papa Francisco or Mama Francisca whenever you choose to. They are very powerful, they are very wise, they are very sincere, and they are very caring. When it comes to the Congo spirits, a lot of times people will offer them strong offerings like black beans and rice, or you can offer them black coffee with no sugar, no cream. You can offer them strong tobacco like cigars. You can offer them hot, spicy foods. You can offer them glasses of water, Or you could pretty much offer them like a good home cooked meal that either your grandmother or your great grandmother, great grandfather, or whatever your family, served during important times of the year, like birthdays, Christmas, or different celebratory holidays. You can offer them because they love being offered, their favorite foods, their favorite drinks, or, just things that represent or honor the family. Another thing I want to say is that you can find these in different. I was gonna say like I know something didn't fall off of this, but okay. But you can find these and you can find these in different sizes because, like I said, I've seen people with life size versions of these. I've seen statues that are like my size and my height sitting in front of people's houses because a lot of times people use these for protection. Like I mentioned before, you'll see these in botanicas, you'll see these in people's homes, and some people even will have these sitting outside of their homes as a life size version, and even in botanicas, because a lot of times you just see like huge like life size statues of like people of African descent that tend to be, a darker skin complexion, and a lot of times that'll be to represent the Congo, the Congo spirits because they were people of, darker complexion, darker skin, African descent, and a lot of times in botanicas or even in people's homes, they'll have life-size versions of Papa Francisco, Mama Francisca, or a life-size version of a Santera, and she'll be dressed up in like the traditional attire that Santeras wear, whether it would be Yemaya, Oshun, or Ilegua. You'll see sometimes life-size statues of like older men, and they'll be like positioned a certain way, or they'll be like sitting in a chair, or holding a cigar, or they'll be like, in some type of position. And a lot of times those statues are anointed, they're prayed over, or they are um, consecrated in different potions and different waters or different prayers or however people choose to, bless or anoint their statues, they're anointed and they're not to be played with because they act as people's, ancestors, their guides or their spirit guides, or they act as a protector or as a defender, as a warrior in a person's store, in a person's botanica, or in a person's home. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Don't forget to like, share, love, and leave positive comments, and have a good day.